I respected him, had to get the same message. And I said, I'm not Muslim or non-Muslim. I was told on the phone, we don't know who you are and what you believe in. So basically, I'm a kafir. But as I was told, I don't want to talk to you. But it's the character that I made. This is first principle is, if I'm respected as a Muslim, then I will come into it now and discuss what my beliefs are. And secondly, I've laid out what my beliefs are. My beliefs are available, the lectures are available. And then gave me my point. Before 7 minutes, I said. I spoke for about an hour now, my beliefs are. And I say to him,
basically what they're saying is that, obviously, now you're saying to me that they're saying you're kafir. I don't think, so basically they're saying that you are saying you're not kafir.
I think it's better. You said to me brother now, if I said to you, no, this is not Muslim, you said to me, I don't know. You're the one saying, I don't know how to do it.
Said that you should.
That makes them a dog. I never said that. I didn't say that my talk. You have to be very careful. They classify me as a disbeliever.
But if you quote something, and you say this is kufr, this is shit.
That's right, go back and read the works of Ulema. Ulema said every action of kufr doesn't make you a kafir. So we can do an action of kufr now. Ulema, listen to your usul. When you say this is kufr, you don't say that a person is a kafir. You don't say that as a principle.
Just to clarify, your belief is that if you make a kufr,
That's right. It doesn't make him a kafir. And your Shaykh will say that. You ask him Asrar and say that anybody can make an act of kufr does not become a kafir. So people want to twist it my words and say, I'm saying he's a kafir. I don't say he's a kafir. It's not in the talk at all. So just like the normal Muslim who act like this is kufr, he could steal and say this is kufr. You know what the person is kufr.
So to interpret that.
And if I say he's a mushrik, then you can say, yeah, I'm saying he's a mushrik.
So to interpret that, you say that you call him kafir would be wrong.
That's right. I don't know.
So in the same way, they'd say that.
But if somebody's spoken to me and saying that I don't know, that's not okay. You understand the point here? I'm thinking that these people are saying to me, we don't know, we don't want to give you salah. We don't know.
So you're saying that those words, Asrar Rashid, that's right, they're Muslims.
Yes, I'm saying they're Muslims, but they're Muslims who need to learn some etiquette in their life. Because they don't treat other people as Muslims. You know, if even my dushman comes in front of me, I treat him like a human being. That's the first lesson. That's what I'm saying about. That's a number of principles. I feel my own. That's what I want to debate with them. They know me very well. I'm a time enough to debate them. They don't know what to do. If a person wants to give me salam, I ain't got time to do it. You know what I said to him from Hakim? It's not about clarity. It's about evil intention. That's what it is. What evil intention is what evil intention. I'm happy with it. Here's my belief. Here's my rules. Crystal clear. You don't believe me? Just keep me out in the hole. Don't tell me to come in a closed door and write out your point. I don't have time to debate you. If you have time to debate me, why don't you have time to sit down and pinpoint every single word I say and keep breaking my argument?
So basically just do a response.
Respond to my lecture. They can respond to my lecture, respond to my lecture. And from there we'll take it the next week. And I guarantee you, inshallah, they can't respond to my lecture. I know that for a fact, they can't respond to my lecture. And if it comes down to debate, I will debate them. I'm not a man who's going to run away from it. But I know what their evil intentions are. That's why I don't want to get involved in it. They've got evil intentions, what they want to do, what they want to design, and what they want to throw out to the public. And you know, those young brothers know, I don't want to go down that path. You understand? Getting people involved in this or that, you understand? There's already people in Birmingham and certain situations going on. I'm not that type of preacher. I'm not there to love my sheikhs and my imams to go and defend them and even die for them. You understand? I'm even out on my own, I'm an individual. Anyone who's come to speak to me, they know where I am. And I teach at Thayyib in the evening, know what mosque I pray, anybody come and speak to me. So I don't know why they're upset about what I said. I didn't target them, they're targeting me.
So if the response lecture has to be made, then what would you do? Like,
then what I do, then I listen to it. And I listen to what the response is.
Respond to that.
The response is good enough, and you take it from there. Isn't it? This is the response. See how good the response is. Simple, isn't it? Like I said, the second brother, so I give the message to Shaykh Asrar. You don't agree with my views, respond to my views. Okay. He's a free man. He believes in Mawlid al-Nabi. That's what second brother said. He believes inside it. And you're saying, I'm Mustafa Rasul. How am I Mustafa Rasul? They said it's only mustahab. If it's only mustahab, then why do you blame me for not celebrating it? Why are you blaming me for not celebrating it? You understand the point here? You're blaming me that I don't believe it. So it's become a principle.
I don't think they're blaming you for not believing in it.
They do say that. That's their argument.
I think they're blaming you for saying that it's wrong.
So, but
there's a difference in not believing in it and openly saying that.
No, but it's become a principle that if you don't celebrate it, you're not Ahlul Sunnah.
No, they don't say that. No one says that.
It's a principle. Go and ask him. It's a principle. It's a sign of obedience. If you celebrate Mawlid al-Nabi, it's classified as Ahlul Sunnah.
I've been told by my Imam in my masjid, who would classify as a Bareilly, that somebody who doesn't want to celebrate it, he doesn't have to.
You can go back to the main works that they write about, like the symbols of Islam. Sometimes there'll be certain things they won't bring out in the public.
Okay.
Like they exist inside the text. Like we want to go back, like I said, if it comes down to it, we'll document it, we'll bring all the evidence. Like wherever quoted about Ahmed Raza Khan, it's in his own books.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to ask you about that is
but you take the interpretation wrong.
Like,
how do I take the interpretation wrong? If a man says I'm a dog, how is the interpretation wrong?
No, the way you bring it out into the audience.
You can't bring it out, you can't say that. You won't find any sheikh saying inside his books, in whatever interpretation way. That's the biggest problem with Sufis that they have in their life. They always try to pretend. When a halal says I'm God, and al-haq, and people say you didn't really mean that, you're interpreting it wrong. When a man says I am the truth, and his own students saying that this is what he means, I am the truth, that I become one with the Creator, with God. You can't come centuries later and say, well, that's not what he meant. Because in his books he writes that, and his students write that.
So the Sufis are wrong?
They're wrong, akhi. Do you understand?
You don't believe in the Sufis?
I believe in Sufi, we're all Sufis, aren't we? A life of Zuhud, that's the real meaning of Sufism. But to believe that whatever they write is taken as revelation, and then to say that you don't understand what the words are. When their own students say at that time, this is what our Shaykh meant. You can't come along and tell me now, 1,000 years later, and say, well, you interpreted it wrong. Those lines of poetry, not written by me, those lines of poetry that you read are written by who? Supporters of Ahmed Raza Khan. I didn't write those lines of poetry. His supporters saying that you understand the point. That's a key element.
Like the Qasida Burda as well.
That's right, Qasida Burda as well. I didn't write Qasida Burda. So what does he say in the Qasida then? وَعِنْدَكَ الْعِلْمَ اللَّوْحِ وَالْقَلَمِ. You have the knowledge of the pen and the guarded tablet.
So just to clarify, you believe that Qasida Burda is shirk?
Yeah.
Anybody who would recite that would be a mushrik.
No. See, you're being extreme again, akhi.
No, this is what I'm just trying to understand.
You have to understand very carefully. When you say this is shirk, doesn't mean the person's a mushrik. Doesn't mean it's kufr, the person's a kafir. That's what maybe your teachers are teaching. This could have said kufr, or he's calling all about people kafir. No. We're not saying, how can you say Muslims are kafir? Is that possible?
If he believes in that line, that about the knowledge of the pen and the tablet, then would that not make him?
How can we still judge, akhi? How can we judge a normal average Muslim? How can I say to another Muslim brother, you're kafir? Who am I to make that judgment? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can forgive, isn't it? Person who have a lack of intention, lack of misunderstanding of the Quran, and lack of environment. Who am I to come along and say to a person, you're kafir, you're mushrik? How can I make that statement? Is that possible?
Just coming back to one of the things you mentioned was about the Qadiani roots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And basically, I've actually read one of his works, which is called Al-Qahru al-Dayan ala al-Murtad bil-Qadian, where he's actually refuting that Kazzab and Mirza Ghluam.
That's right.
So I don't understand how the two things link in.
I mentioned that's what some historians have written about it. I didn't say he definitely.
Okay.
That's why I think you go back and listen to it very carefully.
It's a bit like contradictory. Like to say that somebody's got Qadiani roots and he himself is refuting the Qadianis. And he was one of the first ones to, in the famous fatwa of Qasam al-Haramain, the fifth person was that Ghulam Mirza Qadian.
That's right.
So to just say that somebody's got Qadiani roots and to like overlook that aspect of his writings, do you not think that's a bit unfair?
Actually, it could be a bit unfair. Just like you said, I could be wrong there, I could possibly be wrong. I can say a hand up, that's a wrong quotation. So the same thing is at the same time, Ahmed Raza Khan goes against the Prophet, that we should be man enough to say, you know what? He did do Sahih Surah.
So basically,
But that's never going to happen, is it?
so
You understand? That's the reality, because in our excessive love for personalities, we are never going to say that Ahmed Raza Khan was ever wrong.
So the things where you pointed out, where
Yeah.
you think that Ahmed Raza was wrong,
Wrong, that's right.
you basically want a response to that.
That's
Why
right.
why he wasn't wrong, or
Why
why?
wasn't- that's right.
or
That's all I'm
this is
requesting.
inc-
That's all.
Okay.
Why? That's what we're requesting, isn't it? We're not saying anything derogatory about this shit. He had his life, he struggled, he done that, that's it.
Okay. Okay.
Inshallah.
Thanks for the clarification.
No, inshallah, barakallah feek. That's at the same time. Tell me about giving message. I'm not saying so-and-so's a girlfriend and so-and-so's a girlfriend. I'm here, anybody, all this week, people will come up and ask me. At the end of the day, I respect him as a human being, and he should learn to respect another human being. Rather than sending out this message right on Facebook, this and that, he's a cow, this and that. You know, just like he's dragged his mother's milk, I've dragged my mother's milk as well. Just because he might have people think that he's flawed Abdul Rahman Damishkiya, but Abdul Rahman Damishkiya isn't a Pakistani. I've grown up with the Braille movement. That's the message we give to him. He may pull the wool over Abdul Rahman Damishkiya. I'm a man here that's lived with his students.
That wasn't a Brindley issue.
It is a British issue. I've lived in this movement.
That debate was different.
You understand? I've lived in this movement. So people to come and say to me, you understand, go into, you know what I mean, tell him to think damn hard. Because when I walk, if I do end up debating him, there's going to be things going to be exposed, yeah, to the whole this country, for the rest of as long as I live will remember it. That's how deeply I know the movement. Okay. You understand the point? I'm not an individual who's talking from outside. I know the business that goes right from within. Okay. I know the corruption right from within, and I'll have to bring out names and places and times and everything to expose it. But I don't have time for that. But like the brother saying, it's going to go all nasty. You know what? It's going to go bloody. Because they're going to be out there. You know what they're going to do? They're going to come for my life. That's what they're going to do. They're going to come for my life, and I'm not interested in that. They said, give him my salam. Yeah, he said salam.
No problem.